Sylvia Smith. Sylvia Smith Brown. I think people are.
Yes. It's time, Sylvia. It's time.
I'm probably one of the longest serving members, really.
Of NCNW.
I'm saying of the Denver chapter 4 that has been pretty much active, and that's over 21 years now.
Wow.
Because Elbert Wedgeworth recruited me in 1994 to the organization, and I didn't quite know what I was getting myself into, and it turned out to be. I think I might have ended up doing the first Harambe would have been what I was doing, and at that time we used to do Harambe. We used to have 500 people in a room, and that was tough to do. But we would, when I was early on, we were doing 500 at our annual Harambe brunch. And that is tough, for 3-4 years, I think we did it with 500 people. And then, and I think back on when you're saying it's the timing of the organization, and it's in some ways, the word for me, timeless, about her motto, the way Dr. Bethune lived, and what she spoke about, especially with the each one teach one, each one sort of reach one. I mean, and that has just proven to be over and over and over and over again something that, you take one and you bring them forward, right? And I think for NCNW, the National Council of Negro Women in Denver section, what I've always connected and been proud of is that it's an organization, not only is an organization of all women's organizations, but it's an organization of taking those individuals in the community who have been doing tons of work, but don't get recognized for it. And that is what is one of the most important things that I find about that organization that keeps me connected to it. That there's folks that I know that are out there doing work, don't want recognition, don't have a title behind their name, don't have real credentials in some instances sometimes. And they feel, but they too deserve to be recognized. And that is the spirit in which we do the living portraits annually. We've been doing that now for, as long as I've been with the organization. We do that in conjunction with Denver Public Library. Also, not having been close to grandparents growing up, having met individuals that were clearly part of this organization long before I ever joined it. And that's Mrs. Marion Ellerby and her sister, Mrs. Rose Martin, and Versia Mitchell, who's passed on. Mrs. Marion Ellerby, we lost her a couple of years ago. Lenore Darden, we just lost Loretta Stevens, just a couple months ago, Mrs. Stevens. But we've had so many women that have been engaged in the organization that this was the organization to be. And for them, I was honored to have known them. We had the chance to meet Dr. Height, and she came out and met these women. And so it continues, and it is a viable and important organization, and the mission still stays true today. So.
It does.